can live a longer, healthier life. And today we are especially privileged to have a great speaker. This is a gentleman that I truly respect. He's a professional speaker, by the way, but he's also a great leader in the wellness space, amongst many other things that he does. And today he's going to talk to us about a very important topic, about our immunity. Now, our immunity, as you all know, is what determines our quality of life, because if you have a strong immunity, it means that you can defend yourself from so many attacks, and you can live a very high quality of life. But if you have a weakened immunity, then you're in for trouble. And today we have a special guest who is going to talk to us about that, Mr. Dan Odero. Karibu sana, Bwana Dan.
Thank you, Fred, for the introduction. And good afternoon, everybody. Those who are in Nairobi in our time zone. Otherwise, good morning, good evening. This Sunday, we're here to discuss and share ideas about health. And one of the things is to talk about an area that is important, and that is our immunity. Immunity needs to be worked on constantly. So then before we start, just ask yourself, what have I done today to improve my immunity? Because if anything, one thing that will help you is if your immunity is strong. We've just come out of, or we're still in the throes of the pandemic with COVID, which is now probably on the down low. But those who probably had a stronger chance of beating it were people who had stronger immunities. The ones who had weak immunities, and there are many aspects that cause your immunity to be low, had a higher mortality rate. So we had people who were affected. So one of the things is, besides the COVID, anything else, if your immunity is low, you have many more challenges, health challenges. So it's always important to try to improve your immunity. In fact, at times when somebody's immunity is very low and they're in hospital, they're restricted. They restrict them any visitors because someone can come in with something that will compromise them and will also cause them a problem. Things like also immunity that infect immunity, like if somebody had AIDS, HIV, the immunity is low. Sometimes what kills them is not just having AIDS, it's a sickness that comes in because anything can affect them, anything can be lethal. Somebody like that would also be, finds it very difficult, it's difficult to fight off diseases. Now, I don't claim to be an expert in this area, and you don't have to be an expert when you're involved in Neolife. We have behind us a scientific advisory board, and they've done some very good research. I have a document here. I hope you can all see the document. And we'll go through this, explains a bit about immunity. And this document we'll go through. You can get this document from any of a person who is a distributor with Neolife, myself, Fred, or any other distributor on the board. They can get the document and you can go through it. So don't have to take scriptures notes, but let's just go through it. We'll start off. And one of the first things it says, immunity, your first line of defense, the first line of defense is your immunity. So that's your first line of defense. How, it's probably the single most important thing that keeps us all alive and healthy in the face of myriad challenges we are confronted with each and every minute, every day, throughout our lives, is our immune system. It literally our first line of defense, all that would harm us, against all that would harm us. And there are many things that would harm us out there. Insects, we have something that comes in, bacteria, someone else who is sick. People who work in hospitals like doctors, nurses, healthcare workers need to all take care and be careful that they have their immunity strong. Now, this is a lot of things there, but one of the things that caught my eye is I talked about the traditional sense. When it says the traditional sense, this system, the immune system was the primary as a defense. The immune system was a defense against biological attacks, bacteria, viruses, other potential harmful pathogenics. This is all the pathogenics was. This is all was a. It's something that we need to fight with microorganisms. And though this definition is completely true and very important, it is more limited than many modern researchers believe. It's a bit limited, they say. And why is it limited? Because in a modern perspective, the immune system calls for inclusion of chemical, biochemical challenges as well. The ability of the body to neutralize a potential toxic chemical or quench a potential harmful biochemical reaction is also an important protective function that contributes to our immunity. So besides being just a defense, it must be able to tackle, to neutralize. It must be able to neutralize. So don't only defend, but also neutralize that thing has come in. So when you get sick or something hits you, your immunity must have contributes to our immunity. So that is it. And we see there very well in bold, it's written there that you can see a healthy, well-functioning immune system provides 3 distinct health benefits. A healthy, well-functioning immune system provides 3 distinct health benefits: prevention, recovery, and healing. These are important. A healthy one has prevention, recovery, and healing. The immune system, and it goes on to say that the immune system prevents and protects us from harm, but should we contract a disease, and if you pick up a disease or experience a physical trauma, you get hurt, you get in an accident, you fall down, you're running, you're exercising, and you get hurt, that trauma, the recovery and healing then come into play. So not just prevention, now the recovery and healing come into play. And you find in times when it takes so long to heal, then your immune system also then is a problem, because then without healing, your health then can compromise, because that's another part of the immunity. Recovery and healing. They say further that we are most prepared for challenges when these 3 pillars of immunity are functioning at their best. We are most prepared for the challenges when the 3 these 3 immunity functions are functioning the best. And the most powerful tool we have to strengthen immune defense, the most powerful tool to strengthen immune defense is diet and nutrition. Not medicine. Diet and nutrition is the most powerful tool we have to strengthen immune defense. So when you get sick, you go in and take some medicine for a period of time. You don't take medicine when you're sick, you take a medicine for a period of time. Take it for 20 days or for 7 days or for 50. It gives you a prescription. We take medicine for a few days, but then the prescription gets over. You cannot go and take it again and again. It's over. When the prescription is now done, when you finish taking your medicine, what do you turn to? The doctor normally says, then go and eat well. What is eating well? So we must then address what is in our diet Do we have some nutritional supplementation? We have something from nutrition to take care of this? Because after that, when you're sick, there's a period where it ends, then now something takes over. So the most powerful tool, it says, we have to strengthen immunity, which is defense in diet and nutrition. Now, in this document that I say that should be shared, the following pages present current scientific discoveries. So we're not just talking from out of our heads, we're not pulling it out of the hat. These are scientific discoveries that have been, research has been done. Many people make a lot of claims, but what is the science behind it? Neolife also talks about the science behind this regarding our immune system. How to keep, and this document goes on how to keep it as strong as possible. How do we work on keeping our immune system as strong as possible? Remember the three pillars, and the diagram there shows the three pillars nicely. We are most prepared. Remember that statement, we are most prepared for challenges when these three pillars of immunity are functioning the best. And the tools to make them strong, remember, is diet and nutrition. So what keeps us, what helps us to strengthen it more? This more comprehensive perspective includes a wide range of evidence that is intended to provide you with news you can use. The information we pass here is not just for you to see and say, ah, nice information. Use it. This is critically important aspect of your health for your family and to share with others, because we come across people who are suffering and they don't know where to turn to. So the information here is not only for you to keep for yourself, share with others. Use it. For those who are just checking in now, we're talking about immunity, and we have talked about the three pillars of immunity, which is prevention, recovery, repair. So it's important to see this and important to be cognizant of it. Now, the document I'm sharing here has been put together by the Scientific Advisory Board by Neolife, and it talks about the things that helped us. And it says here, how do we feed your defenses? What do you use to feed your defenses? And the statement is a very nice statement there that says, healthy bodies keep the immune system strong. So when your body is healthy, it helps to keep the immune system strong. But also, conversely, strong immune systems keep the body healthy. So there's two things. A healthy body keeps your immune system strong, and a strong immune system keeps the body healthy. Now that is pretty clear and an obvious relationship. The two of them, healthy body, strong immune system. Strong immune system, healthy body. Now, poor diet equals poor immune function and poor health. So if you're having a bad diet of things that are not helping you, things that are tasty, things that we enjoy, but it's a poor, your diet is sweets, your diet is nice, tasty things, but they don't give you much value. Poor immune system. So you must always audit, how is my diet? Sometimes when children are young, they have to be forced to eat healthy things. You give them things that are not so healthy. You think about it. I don't want to mention, but you know what the poor things are that we like to eat sometimes are not, which makes a poor diet. And it's not to say that is perhaps the most strongly supported understanding that every dietary deficiency results in some form of immune compromise. Every dietary deficiency results in some form of immune compromise. I remember one story. I mean, when I was young, I remember one time when I was very young, and my elder brother had his lips turned black. If he's saying it's a story I remember very clearly, because then my mother got worried a bit and she went to the doctor and they asked, why was this happening? And they found out, they discovered that he had not eaten fruits for a year. So for those who are avoiding fruits, not because they're bad, because they're a bit expensive, and you say, fruits, some people say, some people saying fruits are for children, women and children, some men say, and some people say avoid fruits, or they just, because it's expensive, we don't eat them. Black lips. Remember that statement. Every dietary deficiency results in some form of immune compromise. And this goes on to say that every deficiency all the time. And further on, this things goes on to, in fact, the malnutrition is the most malnutrition is the most common cause of immune deficiency in the world. Malnutrition. Sometimes when we buy things because we're avoiding meat is expensive, we're avoiding things with meat, we have some things there, we're avoiding some foods, our dads are poor. It's the most common immune deficiency in the world. And even in advanced industrial worlds where food is widely available and where people are people have what they can pick up, where food is widely available to nearly everybody. Undernutrition, defined as lack of key nutrients with or without a lack of kilojoules, also results in immune compromise. So in a place where you have them available there, you know it, you're taking them in, but you have undernutrition. We're eating things that are not nutritious, which we're more tuned to, results in immune compromise. And especially, and this is especially the case where we're dealing with elderly people or people who are hospitalized, where sometimes because of your being sick or because of you cannot enjoy some things, you avoid them, because sometimes when you're elderly, maybe you've got trouble with your teeth, so you cannot eat some foods and you're missing out on them. You find undernutrition happening. And undernutrition has been, and it's been explained there very nicely. The definition of undernutrition is lack of key nutrients with or without lack of kilojoules. Sometimes when you get older, we become picky eaters. Also when they're young, we have picky eaters. Undernutrition. It's a most common cause of immune deficiency. And then it says also, not surprisingly, the over-ingestion of kilojoules that leads to overweight. You're eating some things that is over kilojoules, some things you like so much, but it leads to overweight. And obesity can also lead to immune system compromise. So you might someone looks very healthy, but they are also because of their eating over ingestion of kilojoules can also lead to immune system compromise. So some people might think I am not, because I have look at my body. I mean, I've got it. They might be they might have a problem with immune system compromise. Thus, maintaining a healthy body weight also promotes attaining and maintaining optimal immune potential. Very clearly described here. And then we go on to the thing about powerful protein. And we are informed that a lack of adequate protein in the diet, known as protein energy malnutrition, PEM, is a common cause of immune dysfunction. Protein energy malnutrition is a common cause of immune dysfunction. And this is true for all of us, but especially in the young and in the elderly. And we know this when we start having to chase children around to eat. They want only some kind of things. They want chips with a lot of tomato sauce, more tomato sauce than chips, or other foods that are tasty but have no nutritional value. True for all of us, but especially in the young and the elderly. When we get elderly, we have challenges also eating. That's where it happens more. It goes on to say also, and it states very clearly there, it is well known that protein deficiency can stunt physical growth and mental development. Can stunt physical growth. If you don't have good protein, can stunt physical growth and mental development. And if it starts out when you're young, these results are perpetuated into adulthood. So why wait and think things are bad? Start early. Some people start saying, no, let the children are okay, they don't. Start early, because you might get it too late. Start with children when they're young. Whatever the cause of dietary protein, the result is an increased risk of infection. Whatever the cause of insufficient dietary protein, the result is an increased risk of infection from adverse effects on both our innate, immediate, non-specific response to a challenge, our innate and non-specific, an adaptive, learned-specific response from the past exposure. Immune capabilities. And it says protein is widely available within the, though it is widely available within the industrial food supply, poor protein quality or the conscious decision to avoid protein, especially animal protein, can result in protein deficiency. Sometimes you find it's very readily available. It is there. There's a lot of protein available, but people consciously avoid it. When I don't want to point fingers, but also the people sometimes who now choose vegetarian diets, and I'm not saying the vegetarian diet is bad. This is what the research has done. I don't say change, but this is research. The conscious decision to avoid protein, especially animal protein, can result in protein deficiency. It's not manifested as a black and white situation, but rather one of degrees, causing the immune system to be generally weaker than it would be with a diet rich in high quality protein. So in a case where somebody is consciously avoiding it, it is important then to add in protein. And one of the ways here, and the document we show here very nicely, is what we have, our protein shake, which is 18 grams of quality protein per serving. with 25 essential vitamins, minerals, biologically complete with all 22 amino acids. So if you are one who has consciously chosen, it's important then to do that in your diet. Otherwise, a weaker immune system, which will affect you in the long term. This is all come from research which has been done. This is the research is done, and as I say, this document is available for anyone who is a distributor here, my colleagues here, who can always share this with you. It's in the back office. They don't know where it is in the back office. Nowadays, we have a back office. New Life has got a back office where these things are shared, and you can find them there. So when you avoid protein, it causes our immune system to be, its system becomes weaker than it would be with a diet high in quality protein. So if you know you're one person who lacks quality protein, I suggest highly put in the things you're going to buy, protein shake, New Life protein shake. It should also be noted that protein deficiency usually occur along with deficiency of essential micronutrients, including vitamins A, vitamins B6, D, folic acid, zinc, iron, copper, selenium. Thus, assuring micronutrient abundance in a critical is a critical immune building factor as well. It's critical. By the way, all these things are provided in the NutriShake. The NutriShake has got all that. It gives you the protein plus has got all this, but you can always get more of this. These are the things that they suggest, and research has shown that they're important. Okay. We move on further, and I'd like to move on further to a second part of the document. The document has got 3 pages of document. We go on to the second part of the document, which now talks about great nutrition, great immunity. Great nutrition and great immunity. And very clearly done there, it says that, talks about carotenoids. Anyone of you has, if you have dealt with, and if you have not, there's a word called carotenoids. Carotenoids, anyone who has been around your life for any length of time has probably heard of the company or its scientific advisory board members speak about how quality of your diet can modulate your immune potential. And it has been well established that the levels of certain nutrients relate directly to immune capacity. In fact, in 1997, researchers from the United States Department of Agriculture, not New Life, researchers from the United States Department of Agriculture published evidence in 1997. They published evidence in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition. So it's not just New Life saying this. Researchers from the United States Department of Agriculture published evidence in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition on research they conducted with the Neolife carotenoid complex. They came to Neolife and asked them for their product, and they did research with Neolife carotenoid complex. In that data, they showed carotenoid complex is capable of boosting specific markers of immune competence in otherwise carotenoid deficient diets. Carotenoid deficient diets which don't have your colored fruits and vegetables. they show that carotenoid is capable of boosting specific markers of immune competence in an otherwise carotenoid deficient diet. That effect has been shown several times since then, making dietary carotenoids an important immune competence indicator. It is at least in part because of this relationship between carotenoids and immune function that abundant and diverse dietary carotenoid intake is also associated with cancer prevention. Research done by the United States Department of Agriculture. Immune function that abundant and diverse dietary carotenoid intake is also associated with cancer prevention. And in this day and age of ours, we hear a lot of people talking about cancer. What are you doing about it? Besides, of course, going for checkups, which is good, but what more? What more are you doing about it? Now, the research has shown, and if you can see that small diagram there, boosts overall immune function by 37% in just 20 days. So when they did a research, immune capacity, the baseline was there. Carotenoid complex increased in 20 days immune function by 37% in just 20 days. In the carotenoid complex that has been produced, based in science, backed by science, based in nature, backed by science, each of the carotenoid complex has got 150, equivalent of 115 kilograms of raw fruits and vegetables in every bottle of 90 capsules. 115 kilograms. Of course, we're not saying just go and swallow carotenoid and don't eat fruit. You must, because it's just bridging the gap. It's a supplement, not a substitute. Supplementation is not substitution. So you must also still eat your fruits and vegetables every day. Or at least, if worse comes to worse, thrice a week. Do that. There's a product there that they have done together called the daily, the phytodefense. Daily phytonutrients protection with the power of 6 optimal servings of fruits, vegetables support your body's natural defense. I would suggest twice a year, even at least once a year, take a phytodefense, go and buy it. I know some people say the price is a bit prohibitive, but I'm telling you, this helps. In fact, I have a story where there was somebody who, a friend of mine, younger sister had got diagnosed and she had intestinal cancer. And the doctor had told her, please go, that they were told that they need to go for chemotherapy. And for the month, it was going to cost them about $1 million. Now she came crying and says, but between us, even though our family were doing quite well, 1 million shillings in a month is a bit pricey. What can we do? Do you have any solutions? Now, we have scientists and doctors who are, in fact, we had a doctor who is one of the doctors who can be consulted, Dr. Fatima Abdallah, who is an oncologist. And she said, I said, go and consult. She's also in Kenyatta. They went and consulted, and Dr. Fatima Abdallah said, please then, before you take the chemotherapy, it's not me, the doctor said, he was an oncologist, trained. He said, take the phytodefense. So she took the phytodefense, and the phytodefense is a bit surprise product. In fact, the product costs you the range they will tell you about is about it's over 10,000 bob. But they bought the phytodefense because you're comparing 10,000 or is 15,000 bob about as compared to 1 million a month. Let's buy that. And they took that one, and the girl took the phytodefense, and she took it for 4 months. So 4 months maybe costs 4 months 15,000. 4 months you're talking about almost 60,000 bob. And they came back to me, and they told me when they went back for a checkup to that doctor, they could not find the cancer any longer. Now, this is reported from somebody who was suffering. So maybe it's something you can consider. Now, another thing on that, where they talk about there, is omega-3 fatty acids. And several studies have shown that some specific dietary fatty acids can also modulate immunity. Again, this means that in the case of balance, can affect immune capability. And it's particularly true of the polyunsaturated fatty acids of the classes known as omega-3 and omega-6. Both are considered essential, omega-3 and omega-6. So sometimes I hear people saying, do I take omega-3 and 6? Both are essential. Within the immune system, they are incorporated into the membranes of immune cells, and they are modulated cell signaling immune inflammatories. They talk about that there. Now, generally in Western diets contains too much. Sometimes they contain too much of omega-6 inflammatory, too much of omega-6, and far too little of omega-3 anti-inflammatory content. The results of having too much one results create an immune response imbalance. If you have too much of one, cause an immune system imbalance. Research has shown that healing is not fully reached as long as inflammation persists. If you have an imbalance, too much of an inflammatory components and too little of anti-inflammatory components, when you have that, the healing is not reached fully. One of the best examples is is shown in the study done using Neolife's omega-3 salmon oil plus, where it was shown that supplementation with this product resulted in more complete quenching of inflammation associated with healthy immune function, thus promoting more complete healing. Omega-3 salmon oil plus has got the full body of both. And the study done, the data has been cited in the New England Journal. There are many means by which omega-3 fatty acids has been connected to healthy, active immunity. This is all seen in this document here. Leading-edge research has recently put the spotlight on 3 specific ways in which they promote optimal immune function. Leading-edge research, not just thoughts, leading-edge research. One is that the increased presence of omega-3 fatty acids in specific immune cells affects their cell membrane structure, fluidity, responsiveness, and the function known as phagocytosis, the process which immune cells engulf and remove pathogenic organisms or cellular debris. When they die, it removes them, pathogenics and organism cellular debris. That's the first one. Responsive function, it removes those organisms and cellular debris. Secondly, the mechanism is promoting the functional activity of leukocytes, white blood cells, in immune defense activity against infectious foreign invaders. So when you have something that infects your body, the white blood cells are released and it fights against the foreign invaders. So it's protecting, it's fighting. The third one, mediation inflammatory response, include the production of resolvins, specific omega-3 generated components that resolve inflammation, promoting healing. Very good for people who are sports. It promotes healing. If you've been hurt, it promotes healing. This also lowers the potential for autoimmune inflammatory disorders, such as rheumatoid arthritis, inflammatory bowel disease, and asthma. Autoimmune inflammatory disorders, such as rheumatoid arthritis, inflammatory bowel disease, and asthma. These are things that we get from the omega-3 salmon oil. And we have the omega-3 salmon oil there, promotes a healthy balance of pro and anti-inflammatory factors. This is what you find to boost your immune system. So we've covered those areas. The third part of the document goes into the defense, pro-immunity. And here there's a part I'd like to highlight over there, overlooked essentials. Vitamins A, C, and D are widely available in the food supply, but are still found to be widely deficient. Data extracted from the National Health and Nutritional Examination Survey, published in 2014 by the Environmental Working Group, found 95% of adults are deficient in vitamin D. 95%. This is a study which has been done. Adults are deficient in vitamin D, 51% deficient in vitamin A, and 43% deficient in vitamin C. Aside from their overall negative health potential such deficiencies represent, all three of these are directly related to immune function, and thus their deficiency points to serious risks of immune compromise. This is data which has been extracted. So vitamin A, recent research further highlights adequate intake of this nutrient. In addition to its supporting immune cell generation, vitamin A is known to direct the action of key group of immune cells. It activates honing beacon-like receptors on cells that draw immune cells, specifically their targets. Vitamin A. Vitamin C, long known for its involvement as a key element in many of the body's protective immune, including immune function. It is known to mitigate the decline in immune capability associated with aging. So when people are aging, a lot of vitamin C is important. The data showed that T cells counts, which normally decline with age, were significantly higher when vitamin C was supplemented in the diet. So for people who are aging or elderly, when you get older, it's important to have your vitamin C there to make sure that your immune system is stronger. Vitamin D, which some people say we get that with sunlight, but also research team from Ireland has shown that vitamin D deficiency is directly associated with immune compromise. Our data indicates that vitamin D may be involved in maintaining the health of immune system as well as the skeletal system, assuring that vitamin D adequacy in the diet is therefore essential for optimal immune function as we age. So besides saying there are a lot there, it's important, and it's I've said there with surveys, it's important always to supplement. Research has shown this, and this is what it has shown. So I hope you have seen how important these things are. So we don't, and sometimes I've had some people people have gone and said, and people have challenged us. Sometimes they say, sometimes I get a cheaper option. I get a cheaper option in the shops. I can get a cheaper option of of the product from the chemist. But many a time I've been approached by, and I remember one case when I was approached by somebody who was told by the doctor she was expecting, and she was asked by the doctor, get some folic acid. And she went and bought folic acid from the chemist, and she was taking it. And when she went back for a checkup, they couldn't find the folic. This doctor asked her, why aren't you taking? He said, but I bought it. This is a testimony from somebody who was a client of mine. I said, I bought and I've been taking. I said, there's no result. Then she came to me and says, doctor has been telling me, I've been buying from the chemist. There's no result. What do I do? I said, probably try some of ours. I gave her a vitamin B, which has got the folic acid. There's also the Formula 4, which has got the folic acid there. 2-3 days later, when she went to the doctor for a checkup again, because now she was a bit skeptical, says, I can see you now listening to me. What did she do? She just changed where she was getting it from. So sometimes you may say, we can get from elsewhere cheaper. Cheap might be expensive because you might be doing that and it might not be helping you. So it's important to say also, where am I getting it from? It's important to know. Where am I getting it from? Important to know and important to check out of it. So some of the things that we have there, some of the products, I'll recap on them that we have talked about that are important here. And one of them was omega-3. And remember the graph there. I don't know if I had shown it earlier, but the graph on there had shown omega-3. And this was a study done there that says omega-3. When you take omega-3, there's an improved omega-3 index by 38 up to 38%. Research done. It shows that up to 38%. This has been, so even anytime you're taking something, check, is it working? Is it helping me? Yeah, is it working? Is it, am I actually getting benefits from it? Because there's one thing we're taking and one thing I'm saying, it's not helping me. So is it helping me? Am I getting the benefits when I'm taking these things? Am I finding the benefits? Don't just go there blindly. Remember the products we have talked about. We've talked about carotenoid complex. Research has shown that it boosts the immune system. Vitamin C, there's vitamin C for children also, which we have in the All C. I would suggest after this, remember to share with others what we have here. The document I've shared, as I say again, is available from any distributor who invited you here. They can get the document there. You can look at it once again. But remember the things that we need to have. And then before I close off and before we end off this presentation, I hope it's been helpful. I hope you've taken some notes down, look at the recording, go through it. Remember that even though you have a healthy diet, if you're not supplementing, you might be causing yourself serious harm. And not because that's what we thought, because research has shown it, and this is what happens. And when you're in Neolife and you start buying supplements, as a member of Neolife, every time you buy a supplement, and sometimes we do this when we go and buy, like, so supermarkets, there are loyalty points. Neolife, every time you buy a product, there are some points there, point value. The point value are allocated to you every time you buy a product. So in the back of your mind, as you're helping yourself and helping others, the company is recording the points values that you have done. And those accumulated at the end of the month, they use to pay you back. So the point values are used as income generating points, not just royalty points. They can give you back some little bit of benefit, some money allocated that is paid back for referrals. As you grow a team, as people buy in your team, people in different parts. I know some people who are in my team who are in America, when they buy there, your points increase. Those increasing of the point value because you're buying something to help your immune system, to help you with your health. The accumulation of those points there, the company says, how much volume is that? We have a sales volume bonus payback. That means your pockets are all taken care of. This is discussed more. We have a presentation tomorrow at about 8 o'clock. Ask the person who invited you, give me a link to that presentation, go in and listen. Sit down with the person who invited you. Ask them, how does this work? As I'm helping myself, how am I helping myself health-wise? How am I helping myself in my pockets also? It's in the background of my mind. I can also benefit from this. There are many benefits. But for heaven's sake, please work on it every day. Monday is coming. Start putting down your order. What do I need to boost my system? Is my system compromised? For my children going to school, what am I using? What am I doing about cancer? Besides checkups, what more am I doing? If someone has been sick, besides giving them fruits and vegetables, have I given them some supplements? Because this will be helpful. Ladies and gentlemen, you have been a fantastic audience. I will now hand back to Fred to close. And I look forward to speaking to you again on another weekend. Thank you for being a great audience. Back to you, Fred. Fred.
Thank you so much, Dan. That was amazing, amazing, amazing. As usual, you're full of surprises. That was just a fantastic presentation. And I mean, it's just out of this world. I feel like I want to go and buy everything, you know? And that's the way it should be. Guys, we have come to the end of our session. Dan has given us some very powerful information right there that we all need to take into consideration, take action on it. And like he has rightfully put it, start by fixing your own health. Start by getting the supplements yourself and using them yourself. And then share this information with everybody that you meet. Don't keep it to yourself. Tell everybody that you meet. You might just save the life of a loved one. In fact, in your life, I always like saying this. In your life, we are not just in business. We are on a mission. And it's a mission to change people's lives. It's a mission to save lives. And we are actively saving lives with the New Life products. And today, if you're here and you're a guest, you have a chance to become part of New Life, become part of this great movement of people who are changing people's lives, making the quality of other people's lives better, and helping people to also make money in their free time, even as you make your own. So this recording will be available later today. Make sure you get it and you share it far and wide. Listen to it over and over again. But more importantly, take action, get the products. For those who want to know more about the business side of things, tomorrow at 8 o'clock, on this same link that you have, there will be a presentation by the person who sponsored Dan. I think we are doing a series here. Last week, we had Dan's downline come and talk to us. Today, we have Dan who has done it. And then tomorrow, his sponsor at 8 o'clock, Pascal Olo, will be taking us through a session on how to make money with Neolife. And that's a session you cannot afford to miss. I welcome you to that session. Invite a friend along. Come, let's learn how we can become distributors, how we can become international business builders, how we can start traveling the world for free with Neolife. So thank you all. See you again next Sunday. Next Sunday, we'll be having another powerful speaker coming to talk to us on a different subject on matters health. Make sure you're here next week. I invite a friend or two along so that we can continue touching people's lives one person at a time. So thank you so much, Dan. Thank you so much, everybody, for logging in and listening in. I look forward to see you tomorrow evening and also next week on Sunday on our next session. Thank you all. Goodbye and God bless you.
Goodbye then. Thank you.